My name is Chris Strachwitz, and I want to welcome you all to my special guest today, who I happen to corner over in Richmond, where he's staying with his Red Hot Louisiana band, the whole band. Mr. Clifton Chenier from Louisiana. Welcome, Clifton.
All right, all right.
Glad
Everything
to
is
see you
singing.
feeling good again.
Yeah, I'm all right.
You know, while I got you here, I've always been meaning to just get into some of your music and some of the things that you come from down in the swamp land, crawfish holes.
Right, right. That's why they got soul. Yeah.
When you grew up, there weren't really any black guys playing this kind of French music, were there?
Well,
Or
they had some older people playing it, but in a different style. You know, they had a lot of old accordion players, but they was playing in a different style. See, but what I did, I put a little rock into this French music, picked it up some.
you were really the first guy to do that, to put a kind of rhythm and blues
Right,
feeling into the
right,
French
right,
music.
right, right.
How did you get that idea to mix the French music, which was really just waltzes and two steps, and mix that with rhythm and blues?
Yeah, well, you see, in 1955, I used to play nothing but rock music on accordion. And then I got I said, well, it's too many rock groups. I said, I better change this a little. See, so that's why I got it down to put French in the rock music and see how it goes.
Well, I mean, actually, when you started playing, you was playing mostly rhythm and blues then.
Yes, yeah,
Oh,
oh
I see.
yeah,
You
oh
didn't
yeah.
play much French music when you.
No,
Oh,
no.
huh.
I know it, but I wouldn't. See, well, it might not sell. But I was wrong.
How
So I
did they
just
finally put you on a record? Who was the man that found you?
Gerald Fulbright. It's an old man out of Los Angeles. He dead now, poor soul. But he's the one who first brought me to California. Well, after Fulbright, here come Chris.
Uh
Chris had a hooter, so we've been on there ever since.
when old man Fulbright first heard you, were you playing in one of them little French dance hall, or was it a?
Yeah, we were out in the country, in them country dances, them little clubs, out in the wood, that's where them girls put their little red dress on and come on out on Sunday evening. We had them little dances like that, yeah. So he said, Cliff, you better get out of here, man. So you play too much accordion to step in the wood like this. I said, well, I'm a country boy, man. He said, yeah, but you better move up a little. I said, well, it took him about 5 years before you could get me out of there. I didn't want to go nowhere. So
Well,
I
you
made.
were used to things down there, and I can't blame you, man. It's a nice country
Oh
down there.
yeah, but back home, you're home. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And everybody for real.
That's right. You don't
You
get no jive from
no,
nobody.
you don't get no jive. No, no. Everybody's for real. And if they like you, if they say they like you, they like you. And if they don't like you, they don't like you. And that's it. So
So that was back in the 50s, and you had a pretty big hit actually with that Hey Tay Fee that you made for Specialty Records.
yeah, well, that's what brought me out. That's what made the people know
Hmm.
what accordion could do. And I record Bop in the Rock and ATP and Think It Over.
Hmm.
All the things I did for you and things like that.
That sort of came out in a time when rhythm and blues was still a really happening thing on the black radio
Oh
and
yeah,
in the
it
jukeboxes
was
and
really
stuff.
swinging then. Yeah, this was back then. 55, 56, 7, 8. Uh-huh.
Where did you tour back then in the 50s? I remember you went on some shows all around the country, didn't you?
Well, yeah. I first went out on the road with Law Folston, and it was me, Law Folston, Eddie James, and yeah, that's when I first went out on the road with, and we went all over Chicago and New York and Florida and things like that. And when I toured over here too, we have in California here, but that's way back, that's 23 years ago. At
You
the
go-
time, the Fire Roll was out there, and the Midnighters, we was all together, and
You were usually on a package show with a
oh
whole
yeah,
bunch of other
oh yeah.
artists, huh? So you only had a chance to play your hit, was it?
Yeah, that's right. You play your hit, and that's it.
Yeah, I
And
used
they
to
really,
go.
I really had time to stretch out to really let them know what I could do, because after you play your hit record, well, that's it.
I remember seeing Guitar Slim back in those days, and all he ever
Yeah.
played the things that I used to do.
Oh
He
yeah,
had
we
this,
were all together. Guitar Slim, Little Richard, and all that.
Uh-huh.
Pressure Mayfield, the whole group.
but now you finally have a chance to play a whole dance with all the kinds of music you do. I know that one time when I first, I think, came to Louisiana and heard you a lot, you played a dance outside of Kaplan, I think it was.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you played mostly for Cajun people, and you played nothing but waltzes and two-step that night.
Well, you see, that's what it is. Sometimes they got some places in Louisiana you can play just waltz and two-step, and that's all they want to hear. But now they got some places you got to break it down that they want something else. Like them. I have a old generation and I have a young generation follow me. And them youngsters sometimes they want to hear a little rock with the Zydeco mixed up, and them older people want to hear just real old stuff from way back. And I know 'em. So like that, when they hit on me, I got it.
And those pieces do come back to you when.
Oh
when
yes,
people,
when they ask me, that's it.
Uh-huh.
Oh yes, I know 'em.
because you put a real flavor to them. I mean, it all comes out Clifton Chenier. It doesn't come out like Joe Falcone
No,
or
no,
like
no, no,
nobody
no, no.
else like that.
No. It comes right out from I record the record the way I feel, the way that's it.
Who was actually the first black man that ever made a French record?
I'm in there, yeah. That's
I'm in
right.
there,
I'm in that way, yeah.
Did you know him?
No, my daddy used to talk about him so much until looked like I know him, but I never did meet him. I heard a lot of his records,
But by the time you were growing up, there were other guys playing that push and pull music at those little house rent parties.
Yeah, they had some boys back home playing them. They had a lot of fellas playing them. I know the fella Claude Fox. In other words, that's Helen Daddy. She sits down right here.
Yeah, we should say hello to Helen Falk.
And,
Why don't you grab that mic, Helen? We might just sneak it in on you.
And he was a good accordion player. I know the Randall boys. They was accordion players. I know quite a few of them.
Uh-huh. Well, so you mean, Helen, there were actually some of your relatives played music? Were they related to you?
Yes, my daddy.
Oh, really? Your dad?
And I had 5 uncles that did play, and some of their sons. And that was the only one I knew. And then met Clifton and started working with him.
Were they pretty much on just a washboard and an accordion?
They were just washboard and accordion. No drums, no guitar, no bass.
Uh-huh.
That was just the plain. My daddy, when I knew him and I was coming up, that's all they played, washboard and accordion.
Did they mix blues into it, or was it pretty much just...
No, it was more Zydeco music.
Yeah,
Sing
where
French.
does that word come from?
Well, maybe Clifton can explain this.
Yeah,
better.
well, you see, people say Zydeco. A long time ago, they used to give dances in houses, and they hardly had no clubs, Well, that's when they was playing the rumboard, accordion, and Tringaline, That was the band right there. So people would pass to other people's houses and say, "Where you going tonight?" Oh, they say, "Well, they got a Zydeco down there, so and so I guess I'm going to the Zydeco." So that's how it started. So Zydeco, that's a snap bean, So when I say Zydeco pasale, I mean there's no salt in your snap bean, you see. So that's why I put that Zydeco pasale. See.
That's from that tune, you think? That's how they picked up that word?
Yeah. So
Have you ever heard it called anything else but the Zydeco? Or?
Zydeco. Well, they had another name. Just going to the la-la.
La-la.
Yeah.
Fiddle-do.
Yeah, fiddle-do. That's
Fiddle-do.
la-la, fiddle-do. We going to the fiddle-do, well, la-la. But it mostly was, I'm going to the Zydeco tonight, So that's it.
And I want you to know that's Helen Falk, who's been Clifton's manager and agent for a lot of years now. And if it wasn't for you, Helen, I don't know. I think Clifton would be back in them woods.
Thanks for the compliment.
I tell you what, Chris, the way things going now, I think I'd already be back in the woods.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Yeah, look at the hours and what the alligators got sing the blues, you know, that's where we come from. Alligators sing the blues where we come from.
I
And
know.
crawfish got soul. So now we got to shake it.
You don't have to fool with motel expenses and keeping everybody happy.
That's what I'm talking about, you know. We just let our hair down there, you know. That's
He
right.
loves the people. It's just
Oh, yeah,
that
I
Uncle
love
Sam is
people.
fooling with him, and that's who he wants to be in the woods for.
Well, you don't have no trouble when you're in the woods, you know. Can't nobody find you.
I'd like to get back to some more of the kind of music that people play down in Louisiana. You know, when I first heard you, I think Lightning took me over to hear you.
Yeah.
You know, because Lightning's wife is, she's a relative to you.
Yeah,
isn't she?
my second cousin. Yeah. Net after that.
Annette. And I remember going to this, he said, well, he's just playing at this little French club. And there he was, Clifton, with just himself and a drummer. I never forget that. Just about 2 or 3 couples, you know. At that time, I don't think they were doing too much. You know, you didn't have a record out.
Nothing.
And I remember we went over to Bill Quinn, you know, he used to have Gold Star Record, and he had that big studio
Right,
there.
right.
And we did this little thing called 18, no,
Louisiana Blues.
Yeah, it was just before the Louisiana. Aye, aye, aye.
Yeah.
Aye, aye, aye.
Aye, aye,
Uh-huh. And we
Yeah.
did that. Now we finally got the Louisiana Blues, and that was about the biggest seller.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. You got finished with that number, and you jumped on the telephone, and you called Margaret, and you said, listen to this record. What is that song all about?
Louisiana Blues, Anita crying, and she, at that time when I was down, and I didn't know, it was just, everything was just going backwards, you know. So when I recorded records, it says, the word says, Anita crying because I'm gone. I gave you all of my money, took all my money, now you going, you know. In other words, that was letting me down, you know. So I wanted her to know what that record was saying. Yeah.
I know you had the blues that day, and somehow it had a real good feeling, and we sold quite a few down there in
Oh,
Houston.
yes.
And I think
Yeah.
that
King B was the disc jockey down there in Houston, and well, they really played it, and also Gigi, you know, a record ain't no good if you can't hear it. You know, if your record is played, well, people can hear it. Somebody gonna like it, you know. I'm surprised because right there in Houston, I live in Houston, and they don't have that played, you know. But all the jukebox got them. Now, I leave there and go to Europe, and every 2-3 minutes, you know, but 1 or 2 stations over there, every 1 or 2 minutes, here's my record. In Paris, or everywhere, you know.
so you're really getting into a new kind of world now.
That's right.
I guess
That's
the black music has changed a lot in Houston. I mean, the
That's
stuff that
right.
used to play your records all the
They
time.
played all that disco now.
Yeah, all
you
that
know,
disco.
it's just-
Well, I guess you're gonna have to make a disco record, huh?
well, I guess I'm just going.
Disco's
No,
hard
I'm
to
gonna
go.
stick to what I'm doing. I want.
Oh, good.
Well, we might do that. I don't know. Well, I can, but I'm really working on a spiritual record. It's something I never did, you know. But I'm gonna work on the disco record too, you know. We got to try everything. So
Well, I think the
I want to let them
spiritual
know
method's good.
accordion can do anything. Anything, you can play anything on accordion if you know how to play it. You know, a lot of people think you just can play polka music, you know. But I'm gonna prove to them that you don't have to play just polka. You can play anything you want to play if you know how to play it, you know.
You get the right kind of feeling behind it.
That's
something
right. You have to
Like Clifton
get
Chenier
into it.
stuff. Where are some of the places you've had the most fun? You think you've enjoyed yourself the most? You said you went to Canada just recently.
Yes, Canada was real nice.
Yeah, it surprised me.
Canada was wonderful. Montreal, Canada,
Did they,
very
pe-
nice people.
did they speak French up there?
Oh yeah.
Everybody.
Oh, yeah.
All their stores are even the French names. No English names at all. French.
Even the streets is French. It take them, the middle boys, about 6, 7 years old, they be talking French. It's funny, you know. And, well, I was at home when I got there, because I talk French too, see? So that's it. The next record, I would love to dedicate this to a man, I know a lot of people hear me. He died and they buried him today, and I played for him for years. Eddie Richard out of Appaloosa, Louisiana.
He passed. Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, Latel. You can see Latel. Where's Appaloosa?
That was
So-
one of the really
Yeah.
most important dance halls in that part of
Oh,
the
yeah.
country,
Oh,
just
yeah.
east
Oh,
of
yeah.
Eunice.
Yes.
Richard's Club. They've had
Right.
French dances for God knows how
Oh,
long.
yeah, for
huh?
years, yeah.
Hmm.
And they buried him today, so, he liked the French music so much. That we're going to dedicate this to him.
Let's dedicate this new number to him. Okay. Thanks, Clifton Chenier. We'll see you soon. Bye.